Now, onto that story we are following up for you pertaining to the taxi drivers and e-hailing fighting in Soweto. It's alleged that community members are planning to shut down Maponya Mall today. There are allegations that meter taxi drivers and Uber drivers are embroiled in a territory fight. And to bring us the details on that story, you may have actually seen social media visuals of people attacking vehicles and cars in that area. eNCA's Heidi Giokos is following up on that story. Heidi, good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us. Can you give us an update into the developments from last night where 3 vehicles are said to have been burned and infighting is happening for territory in Soweto?
Yes, so the details remain a bit sketchy at the moment, Cindy, and the reason for this is because police are yet to confirm how many people were actually injured last night. But we do understand at around 6:30 last night here at Maponya Mall, actually inside the mall premises, we do know that it seems as though a fight broke out around territory between minibus taxis and Uber drivers. The visuals that are circulating on social media are rather violent, where you can actually see people, we're not sure if those are the actual taxi drivers, but it just appears as though there seems to be violence between 2 individuals, and it's mostly those that are inside a normal vehicle that are being pulled out and beaten. We do know that a number of vehicles were also torched, and we also do understand that it appears as though some were actually physically injured and taken to hospital. Police are yet to confirm if anybody's life was lost in that altercation. We were getting reports that there would be some action here this morning, but it seems as though it's business as usual. I'm going to ask my colleague Teddy to just show you that it is business as usual. People are entering into the actual mall. Security is, of course, coming to us now to ask us what's going on, but we'll engage with him in a short while. But it is, it's business as usual. People are entering the mall. Community members have not gathered here, as indicated yesterday, that they would be shutting down the mall. So it does seem as though it is business as usual.
And how do we recall that with the advent or Uber especially being introduced in the country, there had been those complaints from not only meter taxi drivers but minibus drivers saying that they're now going to lose market share or lose customers due to the e-hailing service. It's a fight that is now emerging again, but not understanding that the consumer has the right to choose what mode of transport that they want. Have we heard from the Taxi Association or as to what their plight is?
Yes, so I do think it's an ongoing issue and a long-standing issue with regards to minibus taxis and Uber drivers. We do know that some years ago there was serious volatility, especially in very busy areas such as the airport and Sandton. It seems to be trickling now into Soweto, for example. As you've mentioned, the consumer and the individual has an option, and if they choose the option of an Uber, they should be granted that right and that opportunity, just as well as Uber drivers should be given a right and opportunity to make a living for themselves, which is what a lot of people have been communicating on social media. If people rather want to take an Uber, why aren't they given that opportunity to do so? But it seems as though that issue between minibus taxis and Uber drivers is starting to boil under again. The previous MEC for Transport, Jacob Mamabola, was at pains to try and resolve this particular issue, and it seems as though he brought some kind of stability to the situation. But once again, we do know that it's now boiling under, and we hope that the current MEC of Transport, Kidibone Diale Tlabela, will be able to also bring stability to this particular issue, and we do hope that it will not spark that violence that we previously saw years ago. In terms of hearing from the Taxi Association, as yet we have not heard anything. We will be trying to get a sense from them, but taxis are operating as normal in and around this area, Cindy.
Yes, but we know with Soweto it's a very developed, historically prolific community, and with our Nobel Peace Prize laureates, Dr. Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, and Oliver Tambo, etc. So this community we've seen before with the July riots, where they protected their assets and their spaces, particularly shopping malls. Any talks of potential, shutdown, as we've heard from unconfirmed reports?
Yes, so the community member did actually indicate to me yesterday that they are in the process of possibly showing some kinds of dissatisfaction towards what happened yesterday. Maponya Mall was one of the malls that were actually spared during the July unrest. There is a security officer at the moment, Cindy, showing a bit of aggression towards us. So I'm going to ask to throw back to you so that we can just sort this issue out and possibly move onto the public road, so that we can continue with the work that we are doing, because this is an issue of national importance.
All right, Heidi, thank you so much, and all the best with dealing with the official there, security guard, just wanting to find out what's going on. So the crew may have to move to the public road, but we're keeping a close watch on that one.